Hello and thanks for joining us on this Monday afternoon. I'm Jurnee Taylor. Here are some of the top stories we're following for you right now. Little Rock police made an arrest in a murder investigation that started a week ago. Everything we know in less than a minute.
Learning to save a life. I'm Michelle Medina with a new app that teaches CPR in just a few easy steps.
It's March Madness, and today we're talking brackets. Has there ever been a perfect bracket? We have the answer at 12:22. And speaking of March Madness, if you haven't heard the big news, the Hogs will take on UConn in the Sweet 16 right here on THV 11. That game is set for Thursday at 6:15. Again, you can only watch this game on THV 11, and our crew will be there bringing you all the highlights, reaction, and big moments. Now, while my money may be on the Hogs, what I didn't bet on, Nathan, is it being so cold on the first day of spring. It is chilly.
But Jurnee, we warned you. We said it was going to get cold. And certainly, yes, the winter coats were needed this morning. It felt like it was the first day of winter. Spring is arriving this afternoon, but look at the numbers of where we woke up with. Into the teens in Clinton, 22 in Searcy, 25 in Hot Springs, 26 here in the capital city. And that is the second coldest morning all winter long. You have to go back to January 14th when it dropped down to 25 degrees. So it was a brutal freeze because my daffodils and my tulips, they got zapped by those chilly temperatures. Now we have rebounded nicely. We're seeing increasing clouds. Temperature 51 right now in Little Rock. It's 48 in Hot Springs, 49 Searcy, and 50 in Camden. And that's because we've got that southerly wind kicking in here about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So temperatures today will be much warmer than what we saw yesterday. Highs into the mid to upper 50s. But then going into the rest of the work week, those clouds are a sign of things to come. And we've got rain expected on Tuesday, but also Thursday into Friday. I'll let you know how much rain I'm expecting and talk about some warmer temperatures coming up.
We begin today with a THV 11 update. A suspect is behind bars this morning, accused of killing someone in Little Rock just over a week ago. Police announced they've arrested 66-year-old Jerry Crutcher. He's charged with first-degree murder in the death of 66-year-old Charlie Williams. Officers found Williams dead in the early morning hours back on March 12th at Spanish Willows Apartments on Geyer Springs Road. That's near I-30. He had apparently been shot by a crossbow. And in a look back, today marks 1 year since the largest mass shooting in Arkansas history. Officials say it all started after two people got into an argument at the Hoodnick car show in Dumas. 27 people were shot, including 6 kids. A 23-year-old man died from the shooting. Brandon Knight was arrested in connection to the shooting and is scheduled to go on trial later this year. The search continues for a father and son reported missing after they didn't return from a kayaking trip. 47-year-old Chuck Morris and his son, 20-year-old Charlie Morris, were last seen Thursday on Beaver Lake in northwest Arkansas. Both of their kayaks were found along with one life jacket. Benton County's search and rescue dive team combed through the water again over the weekend, but came up empty-handed. Now the father, Chuck Morris, is a part of a band called Lotus. It was scheduled to begin a nationwide tour next month. Central Arkansas Water is taking steps to ensure the region's largest drinking water supply stays safe. Lake Maumelle is where nearly all of the metro's drinking water comes from, but an invasive species has taken over parts of the lake. Doug Shackelford with Central Arkansas Water tells us they've approved millions of dollars to help kill those plants at the source before they turn into a bigger problem.
This is our primary drinking water source. So we're talking about 500,000 people every day that are drinking water from this reservoir. And so it's absolutely crucial that we do everything we can to ensure its health and safety for decades.
Shackelford says they expect to start using herbicides later this spring. And this week, we're expecting to learn more after State Attorney General Tim Griffin asked for another investigation into Summit Utilities. Last week, we first told you Griffin asked the Public Service Commission to investigate the company. He wants to know how much Summit paid for their natural gas and its billing practices. Since opening an investigation into Summit earlier this year, the AG's office has received almost 3,000 complaints from customers. Some complaints are about the overall 35% rise in cost of natural gas this year. But Griffin says other companies haven't had anywhere near the number of complaints Summit has. Happening today, the Connecting Arkansas program is launching its final project. That is a 6-lane extension to Highway 67, 167 in Jacksonville. Now this week, crews will be turning frontage roads into one-way single-lane roads. It's likely to cause traffic backup, so drivers need to plan for delays and consider alternate routes. When the project is finished, there will be 2-lane one-way frontage roads in each direction. Ellen Coulter with RDOT understands that the process is likely to cause some headaches, but she says it's all worth it.
If you're patient with us now, it's going to really be great in the long run. This is going to be a great traffic easing project for Central Arkansas.
Now the project will end up costing about $145 million and is expected to take 4.5 years to complete. There's another notable project starting today, one in Little Rock, causing more road closures. Crews will start demolishing and reconstructing parts of the 13th Street Bridge. All lanes of West 13th Street between South Woodrow Street and Jones Street will be closed throughout construction. Now that's expected to take about 6 months. Former president and 2024 presidential candidate Donald Trump made headlines over the weekend when he predicted he will be arrested this week and then called on his supporters for help in a way that reminded many people of January 6. Astrid Martinez reports.
Former President Trump is calling for his supporters to take action as he faces possible indictment and arrest. On social media, he wrote, "We must save America. Protest, protest, protest." The Manhattan District Attorney is investigating alleged hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels on Trump's behalf prior to the 2016 election. There's concern Trump's words could lead to violence, similar to January 6th, while some of his supporters are questioning why this case is even being pursued when federal prosecutors passed on it.
This is selective prosecution. If I were President Trump, I'd take this all the way to the damn Supreme Court.
In an email, Manhattan's DA told colleagues that safety is the top priority, and we do not tolerate attempts to intimidate our office or threaten the rule of law in New York.
Even though Mr. Trump predicts he will be arrested tomorrow, the grand jury is still hearing testimony.
CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman expects, if indicted, Trump will surrender to authorities, but not Tuesday. And she says it's unlikely anyone will see the former president in a perp walk.
He is protected by Secret Service, and Secret Service is not going to parade him in handcuffs on a public way.
Today, a defense witness is expected to challenge the credibility of Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, who allegedly made the payments, and Cohen may be called back to refute that testimony. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Now, Cohen once pleaded guilty to lying to Congress, so Trump lawyers are starting to question his credibility. Now, new at noon, Russian President Vladimir Putin welcomed Chinese leader Xi Jinping to Moscow within today for his first visit since Putin began his war on Ukraine. China's growing relations with the Kremlin have some in the U.S. worried that Beijing might consider providing Russia with weapons. On Friday, an international criminal court issued a warrant for Putin's arrest for war crimes committed in Ukraine. Wall Street appears to be holding steady this afternoon following new efforts to restore confidence in the banking sector. 2 troubled banks were brought by rivals over the weekend, and this morning the FDIC extended its bidding process for the purchase of Silicon Valley Bank. Now, that bank had reportedly been under federal review for years. Ed O'Keefe explains.
We need accountability for our regulators who clearly fell down on the job, and that starts with Jerome Powell.
Massachusetts Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren is calling out the Federal Reserve Chairman and a regional body charged with bank oversight.
Why didn't the chief regulator in Silicon Valley area, the San Francisco Federal Reserve, act here? Do you have confidence in its president, Mary Daly?
No, I do not.
And the Republican chair of the House Financial Services Committee says all options should be on the table to prevent a further crisis.
We need to get to the bottom of whether or not this is a supervisory problem, a regulatory problem, a bank mismanagement problem, perhaps all three.
It comes as the Wall Street Journal reports the Federal Reserve had been looking into allegedly risky practices at Silicon Valley Bank going back to 2019. And the New York Times reports a Fed review of SVB in 2021 flagged that the firm was doing a bad job of ensuring that it would have enough easy-to-tap cash on hand in the event of trouble. But the bank didn't address those issues as it ballooned in size.
The swift and stabilizing solution was absolutely necessary.
Over the weekend, there was yet another government-backed takeover of a bank, this time in Europe. The Swiss government helped broker a deal allowing UBS to buy Credit Suisse, a bank plagued with scandal and mismanagement for years, for about $3 billion. Meanwhile, President Biden is calling for legislation that would hold top bank executives more directly accountable if their banks fail. Among other things, he wants regulators to be able to take back some of their salary and to bar them from working in the banking industry again if their bank is taken over. But the next big thing to watch this week is what the Federal Reserve opts to do about interest rates. There is some belief they will be raising them again, despite hopes, at least on Wall Street, that they might hold off. Ed O'Keefe, CBS News, the White House.
A new app has the ability to teach life-saving lessons in less than 1 minute. When we come back, we'll show you Rescue Me CPR. And let's take a look outside. It's a beautiful day, but looks can be deceiving. It's chilly out there, Nathan.
And we are warming things up compared to this morning, Jurnee. Temperatures will be unseasonably cool, but there are some warmer temperatures in my extended forecast. Along with that, a chance of showers and storms. I'll have more on that timing next.